Howdy, and welcome to the third annual edition of the People's Choice. This is a segment where we put the decision to the Spork voters on who is going to come up and present. I'm going to be very brief because we've got a few lightning talks. We split this segment into two different sections. The first 20 minutes is going to be our lightning talks, and then we're going to change the People's Choice slightly because People's Choice has to do with elections, and we have a Spork DAO election that is happening right now. The snapshot was earlier today. The end of the election, I think, is on the 26th, so you'll have a week, hear from the candidates, and all that stuff. You're going to get a chance to hear from them in a little bit, and if we've got time, you can grill them with questions. Okay, let's dive right into the first lightning talk. Adam, we'll let you just take it away.
Thanks. Woo, let's go. What is broken with DAOs? What the fuck is broken with DAOs? We loved DAOs. A few years ago at ETHDenver, we were literally all walking around. What DAO are you starting? You want to join my DAO? We were so excited about DAOs. And what's broken with DAOs is the laws and regulations about how you distribute ownership and equity. Right? So in the United States and Europe and most of the world, you're not allowed to just make a bunch of tokens that represent ownership in your organization and then sell them. You're not allowed to do it. So every DAO forever has been using these workarounds, pretending to be a nonprofit, being a nonprofit, having a nonprofit and a for-profit, having the tokens over here but the DAO over here, using Cayman foundations and Marshall Islands entities and all these different things so that you can be a DAO and there's kind of a way to make money, but we're not allowed to pay you dividends. We're not allowed to just give you ownership rights like every other company in the history of the world. And so we deal with it by doing these loopholes, these gray areas. The way to fix this is by actually fixing securities laws, right? We need to actually change the way the SEC works in the United States so that organizations are allowed to distribute equity through tokens and not follow all these onerous, ridiculous rules and regulations. What's broken about stablecoins, right? Why do stablecoins suck today? Because you give your money to the stablecoin issuer, they take your money, they invest it, and they keep all the interest and the returns. It's ridiculous. USDT and Circle take your money, put it into US treasuries or other things, get paid 4% interest, and you get none of it. It's supposed to be your dollars. You get none of the interest, they get all the interest. And so, how do we get around that today? Well, there are these stable coins where you can pay interest, but then you have to KYC if you want to hold it. Or only institutions are allowed to hold it. Or Coinbase says if you keep the Circle token in your Coinbase account, well, now we'll pay you a marketing reward that acts like interest. It acts like yield, but it's not interest. You won't get that interest if the coin is anywhere else, if it's in your real crypto wallet. And so basically there's no way for people to make money off of their interest on their stable coins. So how do we fix that? Well, right now, the government in the United States that was supposedly fixing stablecoins put it into the Stables Act that stablecoins are not allowed to pay interest. Who do we think that benefits? It benefits Circle, it benefits Tether, it benefits the US banks because the banks are allowed to pay you interest and stablecoins are not. This law that was supposed to be like bringing stablecoins to the world just ruined stablecoins for the world, or at least in the United States. What's broken with crypto taxes? Right? We all seem like, oh, we're okay, we're allowed to own crypto, we pay our taxes on it. If you move your crypto from one wallet to your other wallet, you have to pay capital gains taxes on how that token, stablecoin or crypto token, has varied in value between your one wallet and the other wallet. If you've been using Ethereum as the currency, the money that drives your business, and now you have Ethereum moving between you and your customers, every single transaction is a capital gains transaction that you have to report to the IRS. And so we build these software tools, and every single person in crypto, every organization has thousands and thousands and thousands of transactions. Even if you're not doing much business, you have to calculate all these capital gains and capital losses and pay taxes as if these were investment assets, even though they're money assets. We have to actually fix these rules with the IRS, not just find clever ways of following the rules that suck. I'm here to tell you that I am part of the problem. I help organizations register legal entities in the Marshall Islands where we have slightly better rules for crypto, and then those organizations don't let Americans participate in their business, right? If they're doing any of these interesting things, they say, we're going to geo-block America. We're just going to pretend America doesn't exist because they have bad laws, right? I'm also here to tell you that I'm part of the solution because I work with the Marshall Islands on innovating in crypto laws and regulations to start fixing the problem. What I really want to find are more people, more organizations that don't just want to find piecemeal solutions, but want to actually find out, how do we fix these problems? What's the true solution to the bullshit crypto legal and regulatory environment that we live in today that's actually fixing things? My name is Adam Miller. I work at MIDAO. Find me on X at 0xThriller. Thank you.
Thanks, Adam. All right, next. A longtime friend and steward of ETHDenver, Jonathan Palmer. Come on up.
Amazing. Thank you, Joshua. So, lightning talk background. What I want to talk about today is building consumer applications. Not to show my product, but I build a CarStars app, .carstars.io, and it's a consumer app that enables vehicle enthusiasts to create identities for these assets, enabling DeFi and other things on top of them. I didn't come here to show my product, though. I think what I came here to share was basically the state of today versus where we've come from and the ability to actually provide real value to real humans. I initially found out about Ethereum about 9 or 10 years ago and got involved heavily in the space. And what was interesting was I quickly found out that all of this technology was basically non-existent vaporware, just a bunch of white papers. And it's basically taken this entire time for us to be able to build the software that actually enables some of the vision that we currently, that we did have back in the day. I think the arc of trajectory with a lot of the people that I've known in the space for this time is that kind of facing a little bit of a trough of disillusionment about the space. And I'm here to kind of speak a little bit of hope from my perspective about where we currently are and what the possibilities look like for the future. I think, like I said, the technology has matured over the last 10 years to the point where we can actually do these things with account abstraction, with a variety of different techniques to be able to create apps that don't require a lot of the background information that we have, and really focus on the actual value proposition that we're proposing that these humans want to use our application for. The second kind of factor in this technology arc is obviously AI is playing a significant role in the last 2 years or so, specifically in software development. And I'm sure all of you guys are following OpenClaw and a bunch of the innovations with the ability to spin out software strictly from prompts with very little domain expertise in the software space. And I think these kind of convergences of both Web3 technology and AI technology empowers a new class of builder. So in the past, you had to be a technologist, you had to have a lot of experience and knowledge to be able to create these types of things. And it, similar to other technological evolutions, whether it be computer-aided design or video editing or different things like this, these are all primarily democratization tools so that the barriers, they take down the barriers for someone with an idea or something they want to express to be able to create those things much more seamlessly and fluidly. I think the current status of where we're at today, a lot of developers probably in this room are questioning, what is the role of a developer? A lot of conversations happening around that. But I would really lean into everybody having a builder mentality is going to succeed in the future. If you have ambitions, if you have a vision, and you have a little bit of determination, the barriers to actually manifesting physical products that solve real needs that you recognize, you can bring them to market super efficiently, and I think this is going to create a really explosion of consumer applications that are too small for big tech to focus on, but are utilizing the fundamental principles of Web3 in ways that humans really value. I think anybody who's on the internet right now recognizes the slop hitting all of the channels at scale. And I think that this is really a pivotal kind of moment for the internet. I know we talk about Web3, but this is the internet. Like, we break it down a lot of times, but it's really humans' experience and connections with community through this technology. And fundamentally, I believe that Web3 is community tech. This is about humans, it's human technology, and all of the barriers are currently dropping at a rapid rate to the point where the proliferation of all of these types of community tools, think in the first era of the web, all of these communities that had a forum, that had these places to engage with other like-minded, individuals, these, I think, are going to start to implement Web3 principles because of the identity, reputation, all of these primitives that we have at our disposal are going to become table stakes for real communities having trust on the internet. So the vision that I have for today is one of excitement and hope and really expectation to see some amazing breakthroughs in applications that real people use and facilitated by all of the advancements in technology.
Thanks, Jonathan. All right, next up, we have Matt from Hydrex. Round of applause.
Let's do it. Hey guys, my name's Matt, and I'm from Hydrex. How are you guys doing today? Good, good. All right, so I was told to deliver a spicy talk, so I have a very short reflection on the AI space. So, firstly, I'm a liquidity buff. This is outside my domain of expertise, so to say, but they can't stop me from thinking about this. Everyone's very concerned about AI and where it's going to go and is it going to displace us. And I think that we're obviously on that path, right? We're creating intelligent machines that are more intelligent than we. But what does the road look like there? I've noticed from being in crypto since 2017 that people always overvalue what they have in this moment, and they always discount what the future will provide. This is an economic principle, sometimes known as preference for now. And what we have right now with large language models, this is an incredible development. It's an architectural development towards the vision of AGI. But I don't believe that it's the architectural advancement that gets us all the way there. And the reason behind that is because I believe that reasoning is fundamentally not predictive. I believe that reasoning is fundamentally structural. And I believe that reasoning fundamentally requires symbolic AI, not connectionist theory, right, with LLMs and predictive theory. And so this is nothing new, actually. This is very old. Until 1986, I believe, the symbolists, they were the people who were saying, we need to create structural, intelligent systems that can reason. Not systems that jump to a conclusion, not some intelligent autocomplete. And OpenClaw and these developments, they're fantastic. They're beautiful, right? They're steps in that direction. But we lost something, and we need to go back. We need to think about structurally, how can we find our way towards reasoning systems, in my opinion. So while I am concerned about the future of what labor and what work, and I'm concerned, obviously, about some of the impacts that artificial intelligence will have on people, I'm a little bit more laid back than most people because I think we still have one, maybe even two architectural advancements that we need to fully realize that state where AI displaces humans. I have one conceptual model here that I took from the crypto space, and this is why I have this opinion. I noticed that bear markets, they always produce the tech that kind of fuels the next bull market. And you have this cycle where what gets built in the bear markets creates the hype, which creates the interest, which creates higher token prices, which attracts new attention, which attracts better talent. And AI has these cycles too. I think these cycles have been going on since the 1950s, and I think it has a cyclical nature that's very similar to crypto. So, again, name's Matt Farrow, and that was my short, spicy reflection on the state of AI. Thank you, Joshua.
Thank you. Oh, forgot my laptop. And last, for our lightning talks, Jacob from CoinFellow. Yeah. That's for you.
Hello, everybody. We will do a technical setup before I roast you all. Hello, everyone. So let's kick this off. How many of you claimed the ETHDenver BuffyBot POAP? We have not enough of those. You should all go and claim the ETHDenver POAP BuffyBot. You can go to this QR code, or you can go to app.ethdenver.com, chat with BuffyBot, and it will introduce you to the concept of this POAP. This POAP is not just a cool POAP. It is part of encouraging people to try what we are hoping will be a proof of concept to inspire builders at ETHDenver to build the next generation of user experiences that will help onboard people into Ethereum. And so part of why I say that is, so my background, I come from MetaMask. I've spent many, many years working on wallet tech and in the wallet space. And I think the reality is, today we're faced with a situation where the vast majority of us are either many people in our ecosystem are pivoting to institutional capital. Prices they were going up. They're not so much right now. Or we are building the same thing that we've been building for many moons. There is an opportunity right now with agentic user experiences to remove the DApp from the user experience and to make something that feels much more native to how people use the internet. The DApp itself was a happenstance band-aid that we used to onboard people to smart contracts. We have the opportunity with user agents and what we've been doing in this proof of concept that we've shown from CoinFellow here at ETHDenver is that with AI agents, we've built an AI agent that can do any on-chain action, a general purpose agent. It can do any action on behalf of the user or automate any action. So anything that you can do in DeFi, any smart contract that you want to interact with, this agent will give you access to that. It will allow you to have your laptop go to sleep, it will. It is creating an entirely new way to use smart contracts. For us, this is a new beginning. We've built this one general purpose agent. We're trying to work with developers to build mini agents. Our agent can interact with other agents using 8004. If you haven't learned about 8004, it is a registry for agents to register themselves for other agents and to transact with each other through micropayments. We think this is a super awesome opportunity to build an entire new agentic economy. We are CoinFellow. I'll leave it there. Not my best.
That's all right. Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you.
Okay. Oh, jeez. All right, hang on.
nonsense that's going on. And right now, we don't really have time for that anymore. It's time for crypto to grow up. And I am going to put my money where my mouth is and vote for someone I feel like that really deserves it. But I did want to get up here and say hello. My name is Brady McKenna. I've actually been here for almost every ETHDenver. And I used to help run the makerspace. And I am this place actually has saved my life. And I don't have enough time to actually go in and explain why. But I just want to let you know that this is one of those special places with a lot of special people and some of my best friends, some I see in the crowd right here. And I just wanted to say thank you all for letting me speak for a moment. But I am actually going to withdraw my application for the Board of Stewards. But I did want to, it's because I actually love all of you. And I feel like someone else deserves it more than I. So thank you all, and I'm going to keep it pretty short, but if you do want to chat and learn, I am a mentor, I am a teacher, and I am happy to let you pick my brain, dive in, build apps, and tell me what you're building. And yeah, that's about it from me. My name is Brady, and I hope you all have a great day. You'll probably see me performing music, though, because if you remember the old makerspace at the Sports Castle, that was my jam, and it still is, and you'll probably see me jamming.
Thank you. Okay, I found my statement. The first candidate, Mitch Valentine. Listen up, Sporkdow. I should do this in his voice, right? Listen up, Sporkdow. I'm here to tell you why Mitch Valentine is exactly who we need on the Board of Stewards. Oh, this is in third person. Okay, I guess I'm giving this. This is not an endorsement from the person overseeing this. I'm reading a statement. Mitch is a true Genesis OG. He's been at every single ETHDenver since the doors first opened back in 2018. He's witnessed our entire evolution from a scrappy castle hackathon into a global cooperative, and he holds that vital institutional memory in his bones. But Mitch isn't just a legacy member. He's an execution machine. As our merch steward for 2024 and 25, he was deep in the trenches, managing the complex logistics and revenue streams that keep this ship sailing. He knows the operational plumbing of this DAO as well as anyone. As a Buffcorn Ventures founder, he's one of the portfolio companies. He's also proven that Web3 can drive real-world impact for Colorado companies. He knows the founder's journey because he's walking it every day. Mitch is the bridge between our big tent, soul, and the strategic rigor we need to scale for a board that actually delivers. Vote Mitch Valentine. And that ends the quote from Mitch Valentine. Thank you, Mitch. Okay, who would like to go next? Welcome to the stage, Dan.
Hello, everybody. Hello. Okay, got to get used to my voice. My name is Dan Hendrickson. I'm the founder of a company called Broken Reality. I'm a developer, designer, and an artist. I am a self-taught professional who's been building websites and apps for 20 plus years. And by some stroke of luck, I found myself at ETHDenver in 2024, and it really changed my life. It changed my attitude, and it changed the way I build. And the spirit of this place is immensely magical. With that said, one of the things that I think is my duty is to actually help builders build, help them ship, and do everything I can to make them successful. So having gone through a few years of ETHDenver, gained their support, and what I've really dreamed to do is essentially pay it forward. Make sure that the next generation of builders has everything that they need, that they are confident, and that they know where they're headed. So my name is Dan Hendrickson. I'm very grateful to be here. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks, Dan. Do we have any other candidates in the audience? Come on up.
All right. Hello, hello, hello. My name is Justin Taylor. I'm a full stack blockchain engineer with over 9+ years experience. I've been around since the birth of Ethereum. I've been building here for the past, so I would say, 4 years and participating in all the hackathons, build-a-thons. I contribute to open source protocols for mini apps, Coinbase, Base, other projects in here, Driven, so forth. And I really have a passion for teaching and building. So when I came in here, and I've seen with the judges and everything kind of coming in, went to the board meetings. I'd like to bring some of my skills across the table to be a judge 1 year instead of partaking in the hackathons, give that technical feel in the backgrounds. Anywhere I can really help, really run the events with the staff and anybody that's on the board. And this is my happy place. You know, my wife's over there, and I get to escape every week, or for a full week every year, and just come down here and be surrounded by all these amazing builders and people. And this year, I feel like it's smaller and the energy is way better though. And I feel like the builder energy is just there. And when I met with Jesse and talked to him, he was saying the same thing. So, I really want to help with sponsors as well. So I have a lot of connections to the companies and sponsors that I think that, as we discussed, we can definitely get a little better on. And so I have many areas of expertise, and I'd like to use them in any way to help the Sport DAO grow and get bigger and bigger and keep this thing going every year. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Do we have any other candidates here? I know one is coming here from another side event that he's hosting, Cubba Joseph. We'll see if he makes it. And then we've got John Paller, Justin Moskowitz, and Hannah Oreskovich-Loud, who are at an event in the other building. So they might be able to stop by to give a candidate statement or answer questions. In the meantime, Dave, would you like to say a few words? Buy me like 2 minutes. Welcome to the stage, Dave, one of our board members.
Well, I'm just helping Joshua out. But yeah, I was very inspired to run for the board a couple years ago, being a bidler, and I'm really pumped that the bidlers are the ones that are coming up and running. It's, putting the biddle in the middle was kind of like I wanted. That's something that I tried to champion this year. I got a lot of steps in last year going between the biddle hub and the main floor, so my steps are down this year. But conversations are up, and I love the ability to run into people 5 times in a day. Sometimes you just nod at them. Sometimes you share something cool. So. I'm really glad that everybody's here enjoying this. And again, I am personally very excited to see what comes out of the biddle this year. We're obviously in a new era, and the biddlers are always on the cutting edge of tech, and now we've got better tooling. So I don't know. I'm really excited to see, and these are the years where the biddlers really step up. It's less distractions. Your own creativity comes through more in these years instead of and there's nothing wrong with surfing a big wave, but we're having to paddle a little bit harder this year, so that's where the good stuff comes. So happy to answer any questions if anybody has questions. So, Okay, so what are some of the challenges that the board has worked on over the last year? From my personal perspective, just, I was a biddle steward last year and getting all the payments out, getting people, the biddlers who won money, a lot of them hadn't done KYC, which is a requirement. So that's something that wasn't automated, and so that was a lot of hours to do for me, personally. And I think there's no such thing as perfection, and the DAO, that was an example where I'd gotten 80% of the bounties out, but the 20% are obviously upset, and so we iterated over months to get them through the process. And again, this is an experiment. Every company or venture evolves. Is it every year? Is it every 5 years? Is it every 7 years? And we've been pretty consistent. And I think that's, being a new board member, like, I see how much hard work has gone into this and the evolution. And it's, you know, people who are putting this on are like legitimately professionals in this events industry. So I think this year, you know, like the calendar was full, and I think, you know, everybody's shifted to AI. So that was the big challenge, and we couldn't predict it. So but we got it.
Would the candidates like to come back up and answer some questions? Yeah, all of you at once, and you can hand the microphone back and forth. Okay. Oh, cool. Did we lose someone?
Yeah, I thought there was one.
You withdrew, yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, I would like to know, from your perspective, okay, let's start with an easy one. Which installation of ETHDenver was your favorite? Like what year and why? And which one was your least favorite and why?
Oh man. All right. In 24, it was my first experience at the arcade. That was super exciting. I found out on the plane ride into Denver that I made it to the arcade with the product that I had built. And I almost jumped out of my seat, but I was on an airplane, so that wasn't a great idea. Anyway, that was one of the coolest things that I experienced on my way to ETHDenver, and that installation was just, you know, high-powered, big screens, great experience, and that was awesome to be a part of. Let's see, the least favorite. I think it wouldn't be an installation. I think it would just be getting used to the dry Colorado air. As a guy from the East Coast, that threw me off guard, and so that I had to adapt. But aside from that, man, this place is awesome.
I don't know how I'm gonna follow that, but so I would say my favorite ETHDenver event for me was I think it was 2023 or 2024, but it was when I got done building and it was really late night, and surprise, here comes Polythia, right? And it was fantastic. It was awesome to be there, like see them jam live. It just felt like it was more of a connection versus a security pushback concert. You know, they came off. I still have my ETHDenver badge with all their signatures on it. I was like, oh, here's a Sharpie, man, slide this, right? Getting photos. I'm a big TCG, player, Pokemon nerd. Pokemon shoes, everything. So when you had all the Pokemon matches, everything kind of going there was fantastic. I think one of my least favorite things that I would say about that time was, and I kind of like a little bit more that's going on with this build, the more confined build that we're just speaking about, is that the DJ was fine with the music blaring when we were coding with tons of devs around. But if it wasn't your flavor or anything, you were wearing headphones or it was really bassy. And so I know that I like to jam the heavy metal when I'm coding certain things. Yeah, I would say that was it. But.
Okay, next question. Those are good answers, guys. If there was one thing that you would like the voters to remember about your candidacy for the Board of Stewards, what is like one hallmark change as a board member that you would try to make over ETHDenver for 2027?
I think one of the hallmark changes or reminders in this space is that the space exists solely because of the builders, the people that put their blood, sweat, and tears into their products. And that focus, that needs more attention. There's an immense amount of brain power just over there in that room, actually, and so many AI agents running at the same time simultaneously of folks really trying to innovate. It's pure art and creativity happening in real time. And if you think, like, all the sponsorships and all the cool people that are here, they're all surrounding the builders. So if anything, don't forget to focus on those folks who are actually putting in that effort and making this what it is.
I think if I got on the board, one of the things I really would bring to the table is my build expertise. I think I'd be a very, very good, strong mentor, very good technical judge. And I've put a lot of background into open source docs. I made the first hybrid web mini app when the mini apps came out from Coinbase, things like that. So, and one of the other things that I really would like to see too a little bit more is a little bit on the sponsor side and certain other objects. I know that we have a lot of great companies like Driven Labo and others, and really great contributors that are coming in, and I think it's absolutely fantastic. But it'd be really great if we can get some of the other bigger companies to come back in, give a bigger push, and we all ultimately just keep making this thing bigger and bigger and growing together, right? Because if they, like he said, this is not going anywhere next year, and if it does, I don't know, I guess we got to host a private event because it still has to happen for me, man. This is my happy place, so.
It's not going anywhere. There's going to be... does anyone in the audience have a question? I don't want to hog all the questions. Come on, we got a packed house here. Nobody's got a question? Dave, hit me with one. All right, the question from Dave is, how do you think we could get better participation in voting from the members of the DAO, which is basically everyone in this room?
So I think one of the really fun things is, in this space, you find a way to incentivize through gamification and enhancing the experience. Like, there is enough technology out there to make a charming voting technology that basically would excite people and participate them and reward them, beyond maybe beyond like Spork. Rare collectibles for those that actually do participate, and if they come back next year, that is recognized. Like, we know that you voted, and we recognize that you participate. If in this space, I believe that there's it's one of the few places on Earth where merit actually goes a long way, and I think if you participate, that's just a fine example of that.
Yeah, not much to piggyback off of pretty much everything he said. I don't want to sound like a broken record, but yeah, absolutely. I mean, because everybody in the crypto field, we looked at attention spans and certain things going on, a new shiny object, they go left field. They all want to say, what's in it for me, right? I mean, somebody gets in, and you're like, buy my project. Oh, well, what's in it for me? It's just an NFT right now. We got some utilities coming. And it kind of goes back to a little bit of the conversation. It was great to the board when they all talked yesterday, and I was asking about the wallet provider for the app.ethereum, because I've watched it change from little WeTransfers to every year, and I was asking about consistency, and I think that, also giving consistency as well on certain objects and certain features will allow the user to ultimately flow better and be able to, go in there and get some objects. Let's say they casted a vote and they get rewarded some Spork, or if it was some USDC, or like he mentioned, an NFT, and that NFT could be like an SBT, right? It could be an SBT and it's bound to you, and it's something that you just carry forever and you're proud of. A lot of people even go crazy for just a badge, right? I mean, people are crazy about their badges. You give them a nice badge and they're like, I'm in it to win it, right? So, exactly.
That's a great answer, man.
Thank you. The question was, in IRL elections, you get a sticker that says "I voted." Should there be an equivalent here, and what should that look like? Was that the question?
It should look really shiny and cool, and when people see it as they walk by, they go, "What is that, and how do I get it?" And that's all I got. Like, make it look so cool that people go, "Oh, how do I get that?" You know, badges are a great way to identify, those that participate. It's a reward, it's a prestige, I think I would want that badge.
Well, yeah, because essentially it's almost like this, right? I know you're a contributor, right? I know you put in, you had the game, right? I mean, we know who's a builder, we know who's Spork Whale. So kind of going back to it, it was nice that actually it made my day the other day. The Driven Labo team, because they had the sponsor spot, got that really nice card from the Memeology, I think was what it was called. And the founder gifted it to me because I do all their code. And I was like, it just made my day. And you know what? To me, like, that's a status symbol that I carry. Like, I'm here and I have that. And no matter what, that'll go with me to the grave. It'll go on, anything. And I can proudly hold that thing and go, this is, VIP. And essentially, like, okay, well, it could be that simple, right? I voted and I got the card versus just a sticker, or it could be an identifier on your badge that carries over to every year that you kind of go through, right? I think keeping that digital aspect more to it than just a sticker carries with them, right? So.
Yeah, I would agree. The physical component in such a, hyper digital space, it makes a lot of sense, I think.
And the reason why I say a collectible is because we have the builder codes now, right? We have the new ERC standards and stuff that we're implementing. And so if we think about the builder codes and everything that kind of comes, our reputation is following by the transactions and the volume that we're doing. We're getting rewarded for that as builders from base. And I preach this all the time. When I teach people to build on base, I'm like, there's these great incentives. So it can all tie into the rewards that carry on with their reputation on chain.
We
Good,
have a
man.
question from the audience. What was the question? Innovation? Okay, so the question from the audience was, what type of innovation, what ideas do you have about something that should change for next year?
It's a very blanket statement.
That is a great question. I think, so I'll draw from some of my experience attending other conferences throughout my career. I think one of the things that really kept me going as a self-employed individual for a couple decades now is actually having attended non-technical, inspirational-based sessions, like things that literally put wind in my sails. Like I leave the room and I'm a different person. There are mentors, creative mentors, technical mentors, people that have life experience that transcend beyond EIP standards and things like that. Personally, that's what gets me out there. And I remember attending my first ETHDenver hungry for that. And I found it in little special places. But if you put that forward, it increases the likelihood of people working towards their own self-actualization. Like, it improves the way that they feel about themselves, where they're headed in life, and I think that would be pretty cool.
Tough question, because everything changes so fast in this game, and it feels like it just keeps speeding up as a minute goes by. Next thing you know, it's tomorrow. It's going to be something else in this hype. I'm not I believe that AI is a tool. I leverage it as a tool to ultimately be a better full-stack dev myself and speed up my time, right? Why not? I can put out things faster. I understand it. But ultimately, I'd really like to see a lot more like kind of things that we're seeing here now. As we kind of flipped it, and when I was talking with the base team, we look at it from the builder, bringing the builders to the coins, and we should be bringing the coins to the builders. And we kind of see it happening around here right now with the tokenization over here. There's lots of great projects in here that are currently doing that. And so I think that if we keep our vision straight and everything else, I really want to see the builders and the traders come together, because ultimately they're going to win together regardless. So not chasing no AI hype or anything else. I'd really like to see more collaboration, even between some of the other bigger companies. I know that they got more revenue and certain things than other people, but it'd be great to see a lot of this tech kind of come together and the tokenization start taking effect on IRL items in our daily lives.
Nice, thank you.
Yeah, I had one question for you guys. In terms of bufficorns, I feel like they're underutilized for governance. What are your thoughts on that? Where can we go? And can we brainstorm?
Man after my own heart.
Bufficorns for governance. Oh, man.
I think there's two
Time-weighted.
questions in there. What more could we be doing with bufficorns? In parentheses, governance.
The bufficorn is quite a magical creature. My first exposure to the bufficorn kind of blew my mind. I think, I love the NFT collection. You guys, if you know me, you know my love for artwork and NFTs. I think one of the things that was promised about digital collectibles in this space is the idea of interoperability and actually having something to do with the collectibles. Now, having bufficorns is basically a way of showing support, and this year, I made it a point to actually grab a few extra bufficorns and gift them to friends that I knew were coming. And there's so many new creative ways that you can actually leverage the artwork and potentially the rights to this artwork, so that people want to almost self-identify and push it forward in a way to where they truly own and believe in their bufficorn, because it's like a really magical thing, and it's pretty charming and fun, and I got to think about that a bit more, but that's a great question.
Thank you.
Okay, I mean, as a developer, I don't want to get too technical or anything, but where my mind runs to is I think of like instant value, and all these EIP standards start popping in my brain, and I'm like, okay, well, if I had to take the bufficorns, why not wrap them? Give them more value in other senses. Why not even take, I'm going to mint this bufficorn, 50% goes to, I'm just going to throw it out there because I don't know if there's one on Polygon or not, but MorphoVolt, right? It's bringing back 13, 14%. That can be passed down to the holders. Everything kind of going through there, which will incentivize them to come in and actually partake and give more. And that just creates an ever-growing pool, even for the treasury that we have for the sport DAO itself. Because ultimately, that's how we have to start thinking. We're building businesses on chain. I talk about this all the time with Coinbase Space, and I say, in Spaces and everything, and I say, we're building real companies on chain now, so we have to approach it just like IRL and not treat it like it's fake internet money. We got to be serious for Web 2 to take us serious, and so leverage MorphoVolt and ultimately just keep growing, and the APY will always return. There's lots of creative ways now to give value to actually incentivize them to come in and do that.
Nice, thank you. We had a question come in on Twitter. The suggestion has been made that ETHDenver relocate to Miami. What are your thoughts?
It's too hot in Miami, man.
Good answer.
I like cool weather. I'm like an office plant. I need cool temperatures, and that's it. But I mean, Miami's cool. But
Okay, it says no, Dan would not move it.
Well, I was born and raised in Fort Myers, Florida, so I live 2 hours from Miami. But so I would say the same thing. Ever since I moved here, I go back home. I'm good for 2 days. I don't know about a week down there, man. I don't know. It starts pulling it out of me. And honestly, I live here in Colorado, so for me to take an hour drive, I mean, it's not, hey, don't stay here because it's convenient for me. No matter where it is, I'll fly. I don't care. But my wife supports it, lets me go. I'm out. But I would say I would love to see it stay here. I just feel like the energy that comes here, people around the world, the air's fresh. I just feel like there's a little bit more things to do and opportunities. Yeah, I mean, that's, again, my opinion.
That was a trick question. Anything but no, we're not moving to Miami was disqualifying from the ballot.
Yeah, pretty
I see Justin walking around in the back. You want to come say hello? Give us your 90 seconds on why you should be reelected.
Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Justin, one of the co-founders of ETHDenver. Basically here from before this was an event and it was just an idea. John grabbed me and said, hey, you want to help us figure out how to host a hackathon? I'd had experience in esports and other events and, was interested in blockchain, but, building ETHDenver was also my hackathon and, been hacking ever since and want to keep on hacking with you guys. So going for re-election, hope you'll have me.
Thanks, Justin. And we have another candidate that has arrived. And it's not his fault that he's late. Neither was Justin. They was running around, helping make sure this thing runs on time. He had a great side event. 2 minutes to give us your candidate statement.
Hey, everybody. I'm Cuppa Joseph. I just ran over here from the Johnson Rec Center where we just hosted a dodgeball tournament. I've come to every ETHDenver. I've participated in the hackathon for most of them. I've run workshops at most of them. I've run Camp Biddle, which is the coding boot camp for the last 2 years, and I've done all the curriculum for that. I've taught thousands of people Solidity. More than 1% of the current stored state of Ethereum was created by calling smart contracts I wrote. And everything I do is about ETHDenver and about improving Ethereum. My ETHDenver story was in 2018. I really wanted to get better at Solidity. I thought it was a really cool language. I wanted to learn more about this, crypto stuff. Is it real or not? I don't know. So I was still a student at the time, so I skipped school for 2 days. I was really poor, and I couldn't afford to check a bag or buy a hotel room. So I just had a carry-on bag, and I slept under the sponsor booths after they left for the day overnight because I just couldn't afford a hotel room then. And learning Solidity at the conference helped me get a dev job at Consensus, later OpenSea, a bunch of other companies that have come and sponsored ETHDenver later. And that experience, being able to learn from people there, learn from the experts that understood what was happening and grow as a person, not just technically, but also socially and in many other ways, really has given me the life that I have today. And so everything that I do, all the volunteering with Camp Biddle, and all the other mini events that I've run and helping people with workshops or hackathon projects. I was a judge last year at the last minute. All of that is really just a way to give back to this organization and community that has given me so much. There's a lot of things I want to do for ETHDenver if I'm selected for the board. I think we need to be honest about the amount of resources that we have and which part of them are helping people and which part of them are fluff. So, maybe we don't need as large a venue as we had last year, right? And the intimacy of this year is actually its biggest success. I think that there's less people here, but they're having a better time, right? Because we know what people actually like, and we should do those things instead of promoting fluff just because we can. So if that kind of rings true to you, if that speaks to you in some way or connects to you in some way, please vote for Cuppa Joseph for ETHDenver board. I don't know how long that was, but
no, you're good. And actually,
thank you so much, and I really appreciate every single contribution that each person makes here individually. It means the world to me. So thank you.
Don't go anywhere yet.
Okay.
Thank you for running over here to make it just in time. We had a few questions that
Yes.
these fine candidates answered. You get a chance to do it too.
Thank you.
What was the best one? What was like your least favorite ETHDenver and why? And what's your favorite one and why? And inside of that question is like, what is one thing that you'd really want to change?
Okay, my least favorite was 2020 because it was a super spreader event for COVID. And there were a lot of people waiting in line for bathrooms and then not washing their hands, and it was gross. It was like not sanitary, and I think that there's so much that goes on like in the background to make an event successful that isn't just the front of the house, but also like sanitary conditions, making sure there's enough food and snacks for everybody like that. There's a lot of coordination that goes on to actually make those things succeed. And the people who do it are often, not appreciated as much as they should be. So yeah, I would make sure. One thing that I would change is I might add kickback for tickets. Charge people to come, and if you come, you get the money back. Plus, you get a share of the money from everyone who didn't come, because ETHDenver has this terrible problem where we have so many people say they're coming and then they don't. It makes it harder to plan. There's also too many side events, and they are making millions of dollars that should be contributing to the ETHDenver budget. So there are side events with side sponsors happening all over the city that kind of fragment the experience. One of the reasons that ETHDenver is so much fun this year compared to last year is because there's less side events. So we need to be more proactive about bringing them in. We need to have spaces that people can rent for really, really cheap, even if we're subsidizing it, to bring everybody under one roof and make sure that everybody's interacting together.
Thank you, Joseph.
Thank you.
Okay, one last thing. Our chief executive steward, John Paller, he ran by earlier. He had to go pick up his kids from school. He wanted me to make sure to say that. He's also running for re-election. This concludes the 2026 People's Choice. Thank you all for coming. You have a very important duty to vote with your stake spork by Thursday, the 26th. Is that right? That sounds right. Vote before then. Thank you. Now let's whatever's next.
Thanks
All right.
for giving me
Thank
a
you.
chance, Josh. Appreciate you.